Short little video response. Yes, you are right. There is no grounding of this switch to the handlebar via the screws. On the high beam, low beam horn button side, you have a ground lug. On the switch, on the plastic housing, is a little metal contact, and the contact gets made with one of the two screws. On this side here, the starter button doesn't have that. Now here, right in the middle, in between all those wires, let's turn the light on, is a metal shaft. You can see if I push the button, it moves. On the end of that is a little E-clip that can be removed with a small, very fine, small flathead screwdriver. And what I use a clamp. I have those soft-faced clamps for woodworking. I use one of those. I clamp it like so, like on those two surfaces, push in the button, so to speak, and then I remove this little E-clip that's kind of hidden in the middle there, and then the whole switch comes out, this whole lever comes out. Be careful, there are little are there springs in there? There is a little spring in there, and there are contact pieces that are in a certain order. So be careful and slow taking this off, and immediately commit to memory how it all goes back together. And then at the end, when I'm done cleaning the contacts in there, I do the same trick. Push this in with my clamp, and then I have a magnetic flathead screwdriver that I use to put the E-clip back on the groove at the end of that metal shaft. That's how you can take these apart. I've had them apart a few times. Oh my goodness, focus. I'm pretty proficient in taking those apart. I've also been able to solder new cables in there. And on this one was particularly bad. I was actually able to build up the contact, the tracks in there with just solder. I cleaned it really well with a brass wire brush, and then soldered on new material and build it up to make my, my high beam switch and my starter button. No, this is horn. Yeah, this is horn. Make that all work again. This one here wasn't that bad. My goodness, focus. It doesn't focus on what I wanted to focus on. Anyways, this can be taken apart. So if you have a good battery, check if your battery power actually makes it into your headlight bucket where all the wiring is connected back there. And from here is where all this wiring to those switches go. So if this is connected to something and you're not getting power in your headlight bucket, the power doesn't make it to your switch, and then it doesn't make it to your starter relay. So there is systematic ways of troubleshooting with a multimeter to really find out which part in your bike gives you the trouble. If it's actually the switch or the starter relay or the solenoid or a connection in here. There are two fuses in here, and I believe that one of them is actually the 12-volt power going to your starter circuit. And if the contacts of those old-fashioned fuses, they get corroded at the end and they just don't let enough juice flow anymore. I had that problem at some point, and then I couldn't start it anymore. So look in there, make sure all the contacts are clean, everything is nicely connected. Take the fuses out, clean up the contact ends, put the fuses back in, and then try one more time. So this switch here, like I said, there is this spring-loaded, tiny little E-clip. If this goes flying in your garage, you will never find it again. And then finding the right size replacement E-clip might be complicated. But if you don't feel comfortable, you can take this whole thing out, off, send it to me, and I will build it for you. All right, take care.